Alright, we talked about the law of April 6, 1830 yesterday. So basically, this is going to take Stephen F. Austin out of the water. He's really surprised about this whole law, and he refers to it as the lightning bolt out of the blue. So it caught him off guard. Alright, so trouble starts brewing in Anahuac. As Austin predicted, the law of 1830 proved to be disastrous for Texas. The Mexican government sent troops into Texas and built forts. So when that happens, well, they do it all across the state. So when that happens, one of the garrisons or forts was located in Anahuac and under the leadership of Colonel John Bradburn. He was an American who had supported the Mexican government during the Mexican Revolution, and he was rewarded by being placed in command of that fort in Anahuac. And he was expected to enforce the law of April 6 of 1830. The Americans living in Anahuac deeply resented him for this because they kind of just saw him as a traitor. Alright, that's pretty much why they did not like him. So, he was accused of helping African Americans escape, well, the ones who were enslaved. He was also resented for trying to collect the taxes on American goods that were coming into Texas. And to make matters worse, he was forcing settlers to provide free materials and labor for the construction of a new fort. So he was trying to collect the taxes on American goods, which the colonists didn't like. 2, he was accused of helping these enslaved Africans escape, because remember, Mexico did not like slavery. And 3, he was trying to get people to provide that labor and material for a new fort. Alright, in 1832, William B. Travis and Patrick Jack Bradburn and 2 lawyers tried to trick Bradburn into releasing the slaves, and he arrested them for interfering in his duties. So a colonel is going to arrest Travis and these lawyers for trying to basically interfere in his job, and they're going to be thrown in prison. So then when the settlers hear about this, they're going to get very upset, and they're going to rush to the prison and try to see if they can help out Travis. so what led to the conflict at Anahuac? What led to that? Why did all that happen? Why did all that happen? How did it start? Basically the question I am asking. What led to that conflict? Basically, you have the colonel who was just trying to do his job, right? Okay, so that's basically what's starting it, right? He's trying to do his job, and people are trying to basically interfere. Good job, Ariana. People interfering, yes. Yes, I just gave you guys the answer, so it shouldn't take you guys that long to type it in. I like Ariana's though. You were right. You're right. Yes, the colonel was just trying to do his job, and people are trying to interfere with that, so that's basically where everything's going to start. A couple more seconds. Alright, we're about to move on. Alright, moving on. Good job, you guys. Alright. So then we have the Turtle Bayou Resolution. So the settlers realize that they don't have a lot of ammunition or weapons to kind of go against the Mexican army. So they decide to go north of Anahuac and retreat to Turtle Bayou. Alright, and there they're going to learn some important news. They basically learn that Santa Anna is trying to lead a revolution against this current government in Mexico that the Texans hated so much. So they were like, wow, that's actually really great. So they come up with this idea, and the colonists use this information to their advantage, and they're going to write what's called the Turtle Bayou Resolution. And in this document, they're going to declare that they are not trying to defeat Bradburn, But they're trying to basically support Santa Anna in his revolution. Because they don't like that government, and neither does he. So they're like, well, let's see if we can help him out. So in the election of Santa Anna, basically Texans supported him because they believed he would support the Mexican Constitution of 1824, which was like one of the first constitutions in Mexico that the Texans liked. So with the Federalist Party now in charge of the Mexican government, many Texans are going to see a hopeful future. The colonists are going to hold a convention in 1832 and basically create a list of changes they would like this new government to adapt. One of them was allowing the immigration from the U.S. to an exemption from the taxes placed on important goods, and they really wanted to be made a separate state from Coahuila. All right, out of those three changes, what do you think they really want out of those three? We have immigration, stopping the tax, and separate statehood. Which out of the three do you think that the colonists really want? Which out of those three? You have immigration, we have stopping taxes, and you also have separate statehood. Because remember, they're joined with Coahuila, and they made that awkward-looking state. So they wanted to just be they just wanted to be separate. They wanted to just be Texas. So out of those three, which one do you think they would rather have? That's right. Okay. Good job. Yes, they just wanted separate statehood. That was their main concern. If they could have it, was separate statehood for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Yes, sir. All right. So, you know how we just talked about they had a convention where they talked about those three things in 1832? Well, they never actually sent the request to the Mexican government, so they had to basically meet up again the following year in 1833, and they're going to have some new faces at this convention, and one of them is going to be Sam Houston. This is where Sam Houston's going to start really getting involved. And we're going to start talking about him a little bit more. So, in the convention of 1833, they decided that they have a similar list to the convention of 1832, that just those three things is basically the same thing on the following year. But rather than requesting that they want statehood, they decided, hey, let's actually write a constitution, like our own state constitution. So that's basically what they're going to end up doing, which is a huge step for any state. A constitution means these are our rules of our state. It's a big deal. So Stephen F. Austin is going to be chosen to basically go to Mexico City and show this to Santa Anna. And basically, it can go either way. He can either say for sure, or he can just say, you know what, no. But we won't talk about that until next week. All right? So